If you are an owner of an airplane that has an engine monitoring system that can generate logs, or an EFIS system that can generate logs like my G3X does, you really should be a customer of Savvy Aviation. It allows you to upload data. So if I go to upload flight here, I can drag tonight's flight into there and it will upload and process that. And this allows you to look at data from your flight. There's been so many times when I had an issue with my engine and I didn't know what was going on. And by uploading it here and looking at the data, I was able to figure out the problem. And if you can't figure it out, you can open a ticket with Savvy and one of their A&Ps will look at it and give you advice. So here you can see, here's the flight that I just uploaded. So let's have a look at it. And you can see I did a whole lot of landings on this one. Up here on the top, I've got my EGT and I've got engine power showing, but you can pick whatever you want to show on here. So instead of engine power, maybe I want ground speed, or maybe I want oil temperature, or maybe I want oil pressure. And whatever you want, you can have it show in here. And I had engine power, I think it was. So that's what I normally have it at. And down here I have my CHT and pressure altitude. So you can see the altitude, power, and so on. And it's not just a chart like this. You can zoom in on it if you want. You can get more precise data, in this case second by second data, because that's how often my G3X writes it out. And you can see the exact values as well. So you can see my CHT limit is at 400 degrees and I peaked above that on climb out on most of my climb outs here because I'm having that CHT issue. And now they have a new initiative where you can take borescope images of your engine and send them to them, and they will have their expert A&Ps analyze them and tell you if there's any issues that they see with the borescope images. And it's great. Every so often they'll send you an email with a ticket to it, and if you open that ticket, it has a FIVA report. And what they do is they have a learning system, an AI type system that analyzes your EGTs, and it looks for specific patterns that indicate that you might be having a failing exhaust valve. So they send you this report every so often on a bunch of previous flights that it has looked at, and it lets you know what you're seeing, what it sees in terms of a failing EGT. So if we have a look at that, you can see, and every time I get this, I'm like, oh God, what's it gonna say? But I'm thankful that what I got this time is that I have average concerns. I'm not sure what you have to get low concern, but it's always been average concern on my engine, so I'm happy to see that. But it's great because if it does see a valve failing, it sees a pattern in the EGT that will indicate that a valve is failing, and it will tell you on which cylinder it thinks a valve is failing. From what I have read, it's actually quite accurate. So that's my quick and dirty review of Savvy Aviation. If you do have an airplane that generates engine logs, I can't imagine not having Savvy Aviation. It's such a great deal. It's cheap in terms of airplane stuff. I think it's $100 a year if I remember correctly. And it gives you so much information about all the different flights that you fly. And you can use it to get all kinds of valuable information about how your engine is going. More importantly, if you go back, I can say, oh, well, here's a flight that I did on the 19th, and then I could open up a flight that I did last year, and I can see if something has changed. And you might not notice something that changes just from day to day, from flight to flight. But if I look at something and I can say, okay, if I look at a flight from exactly a year ago, the OAT was about the same, fuel flow is about the same, but hey, why are my EGTs different? So you can see that, hey, something has changed, what's going on, and then you can start investigating and trying to figure out what has actually caused that change. I was in the middle of editing this video and realized there's two other features that Savvy Aviation offers that I totally forgot to talk about, one of which I've used. That is the GAMI profiling system. So you can go up and run a specific set of procedures in your airplane, and then you upload that to Savvy Aviation and mark it as a GAMI test. They will examine that and have a look at where your EGTs peak, and it will tell you if your cylinders are not running equally. In my case, my cylinder 2 was running richer than the other 3 cylinders. And for that reason, it was peaking earlier than the other ones. They suggested that I put a smaller injector restrictor on that cylinder, which I did. And that evened out my GAMI profile, which means the engine runs more smoothly, less vibration, and uses less fuel, which is just a total win. And just by uploading that, they told me exactly what I had to do, and their suggestion was correct. It fixed my problem. The second thing that they offer is if you're stranded somewhere, you can call them and talk to one of their AMPs, or they can refer you and get in touch with an AMP who can come out to wherever you are with your airplane and help get you back in the air again, so that if you are stranded, they are kind of like an ace in your back pocket that you can pull out to help you get back in the air. All right, back to the video. That's it. That's my quick review for Savvy Aviation. If you don't have it, you should have it. Go get it. Thanks for watching.